22 years after I'd been sexually abused. Let's go there. I was married, had 3 kids, had never told anybody what happened to me, and my life was a real mess. I was on television, reaching 250 million people a night when I would speak, writing books, making plenty of money, and I was so broken. You can gain everything society says makes you successful, but if you don't have it right in your heart, you're in trouble. 22 years after I was abused, my wife said to me one night, she said, "Hey, when you went to Home Depot?" I said, "Sure." I went to Home Depot, I took 2 of my kids, walked down aisle 21, turned right, and I walked right into the person who had hurt me when I was 15 years old, and my life unraveled. I squeezed my children's hands so tight they both shouted, "Dad!" I left Home Depot, went home, my wife said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Not right now." An hour later, I said, "I need to tell you something." I've never had the guts to tell anybody this, but 22 years ago, I was sexually abused. An hour ago, I ran into the person for the first time. She said, "Everything makes sense. We've got to get you help." I said, "No, I got plenty of it. I'm fine." She goes, "No, you're not." For the sake of time, I'll just kind of get right to it. I went into counseling, went to a Christian counselor, and he became a friend of mine, and he just counseled me. That's why I'm so glad schools have counselors on staff, because counselors are very necessary. 11 years into the conversation, he asked me this question: "Will you forgive the person who hurt you when you were 15? I said, "No." They said, "Why?" I said, "I didn't do anything wrong, and I got hurt, and it's really affecting my life." He said, "Dean, if you'll forgive, you'll get free." I said, "I am free." He laughed at me. He said, "You think you're free?" A lot of you don't even know you're doing this, but you're nodding at me right now like, yeah, what I'm saying is resonating. So I made a decision. I did forgive. I didn't go to the person. I did it the way I was led to do it. And I would love to tell you that when I forgave, everything in my life changed and everything got better. But I felt nothing. In fact, I probably felt stupid, because when you forgive somebody, it's not about how you feel. It's about obedience. But here's what I did learn: when you forgive, you do get free. The person who sexually abused me could walk into this gymnasium, walk down those steps, sit right where you're sitting, and look at me. It wouldn't faze me in the least, because I'm free.